advice to young chefs from the age of 16 to sort of 29, 30 is 14 years of a sponge. You're absorbing knowledge. Don't take a job for the sake of money. Don't worry about earning £500 a month or a year more somewhere else. Go and get knowledge, because that becomes a bigger passport for everything. The money will come once you've mastered your craft and you become incredibly talented. Work for big chefs and find a different level of comfort. When things get too comfortable and you're still living with your parents and you've still got your first job and you don't want to move out because everything's too comfortable, get out. Put yourself in a strange situation in the middle of Barcelona. Put yourself in the middle of Paris, put yourself in the middle of Belgium and see what's available. It's amazing how much confidence it gives you, and more importantly, it's great to sort of eat and travel at the same time.
There's one thing I've learned and experienced is that, you know, if you don't open up and you don't delegate, then you'll kill yourself. And if there's one thing that I've managed to understand is the art of delegation, because if I can pass on, you know, to Claire Smith, to Arian, my palate, my understanding, my knowledge, then grab it, run it, and then pass it on to your team. Don't hold that inside. If there's one thing I've learned over the last 10 years, stay in front of the competition. Because there's two ways in this industry. You move with it or it moves you. And I've seen so many sad stories across the decade where chefs have just got lazy, given up and lost that hunger to be competitive because it's the best job in the world. That's not really a job, it's a passion. Because when you're rubbing shoulders, and here we are now, 10 years later, and I've got a restaurant next door to Jamie Oliver's, and we're both literally 2 meters apart. Phenomenal chef, and we keep each other on our toes. So that's exciting for me, and that's been the one key issue across the 10 years of filming Kitchen Nightmares. Never, ever, ever give up.
That takes years to become a great chef. What you need to do is establish confidence in yourself. Cooking is an amazing journey, and don't think you can learn it within 3 or 4 years. It's like studying medicine. It's over a 10 to 15 year period. I'm 42 years of age and I'm still learning new exciting things now that I bring back to the fold. But more importantly, vision, I think. I didn't think French was important at school, and I kick myself now because I went to live in France for 3 years and became bilingual. But I wish I'd studied harder with a second language on my belt. That gives you a different culture, gives you a completely different level of confidence. Learning French cuisine, mannerism, and cooking in a very robust, tenacious way. So, yeah, vision and open-mindedness. And we never cut corners. The minute you start cutting corners in food, time out. There's no worse job to have than to cut corners in food. So, attention to detail, an amazing, exciting journey. One of the very few jobs anywhere in the world that you can travel, get paid, and experience phenomenal food anywhere in the world. Brilliant.
Cooking up my first restaurant, Gordon Ramsay in Chelsea, and my ambition was to go on and win 3 Michelin stars. An actor wants an Oscar and a soccer player wants a World Cup medal. From a chef's point of view, there's no higher than 3 stars. So that night when we were inspected by every inspector across the world, and the following day they asked for a meeting to be told that the restaurant Gordon Ramsay in this year's guide will be featured with 3 Michelin stars. It just, I don't know, it made me stop for 5 minutes and think, do you know what, I've made it. But I hadn't, because winning it was one thing, maintaining it is 10 times more difficult. And for 15 years today, still, we remain as London's longest 3-star Michelin. But the biggest kick in the balls for me was the next day, going into my kitchen, serving this beautifully glazed sea bass. A customer asking me for tomato f***ing ketchup. Man, it's true. I was pissed off. I was so Are you kidding me? I just won 3 Michelin stars. I just cooked the best sea bass in my entire career, and you asked me for f***ing tomato ketchup. Man, get your white sneakers out of my restaurant. What a donut. I was very fortunate to be taught with some of the best chefs anywhere in the world, and the most important lesson I learned was passing that knowledge on. And I always ask that amazing question: if you're such a hands-on chef, restaurateur, who does the cooking when you're not there? Well, it's the same people when I am there. There's no difference. So I have an unselfish way of teaching people to invest in their palate to get it as strong as mine. I try to say to them, it's lazy to copy. Anybody can copy. So take 25% of everything you've learned from other chefs and then put yourself on the plate, and over the years of experience, reduce me less and improve yourself. And that's the foundation to becoming a great chef.
It's a life skill. For me, it's fundamentally important. It's just as crucial as keeping fit, because Latin, history, geography, no disrespect, but if you're not going to teach that for the rest of your life, it doesn't come into play. Cooking does. 3 times a day, 7 days a week for the rest of your life, you need to eat. So we don't cook 3 meals a day, but there's one meal across that day that needs to be absolutely you know, on a plate, done properly, healthily cooked, and sets you up, because you are what you eat. So we can never underestimate the importance of food, because that's the fuel, and especially in sports. I always think about food everywhere I go. So when I'm training, you know, I'm never very far away from food. I had that extraordinary moment at the start of Kona 2 years ago where I was paddling at sort of 5:30 in the morning, waiting for that amazing cannon to go off. To get rid of the nerves, I just started thinking about recipes and dishes and how do I get through this 3.8k swim. I suppose I get turned on by pressure. That's how I thrive. So some of you, you know, can handle that enormous amount of pressure, and I suppose more than anything, I don't think I've peaked yet. That's a weird thing about it. I don't feel I've given everything I've got in food. Even before I started working on television, you know, I'd mastered my craft. You know, I spent 3 years getting my ass kicked in France, and then literally 8 years, 10 years, like reading medicine, studying under some great chefs to really perfect my trade. So then when I got a chance to sort of do my profession on television, it was Kitchen Nightmares that really started first. So that was real, because I wanted these businesses to work.
Knowing what I know now, having been cooking for over 21 years, I wish I'd learned to cook swearing f***ing less. I'm Gordon Ramsay.